Morning folks, it's Jake from Walkie Farm, and bright and early this morning, don't know what the time is, 6:30 or something. Just set up a new cell for the cattle. Then I've got to move my chooks and my pigs as well this morning. It's Saturday. We've also got glampers booked in to come and stay at the farm. They're getting here just after midday. I got a few things I wanted to show you today, but it looks like the cows don't want to come out. I ended up leaving them in this area for 2 days. I misjudged it. I thought it'd be about a day of pasture here and what's behind me in the dam, which is marginal, but a lot more vertical mass than I've been dealing with. So it took them 2 days. A lot of undesirables that we got upcycled. Fog grass and silver grass. Not plants I'm too worried about. If you've watched the channel before, you know the drill. Heading over here next. Looking quite nice. Got some perennial ryegrass and some brome and subclover. And a bit of silver grass too. Got some vetch coming up nicely. Hey guys, do you want to come? I actually came out last night and started filming a little video because I thought my heifer had calved, but she hasn't. I won't post that because it's just mumbo jumbo ramblings, but there's a few things in that video that I said that I'll show you again now. You're looking lovely. That's an F3. Go on, push through. You're a 4-wheel drive, go on. Yeah. I'm going to come through and knock a lot of these little trees down. Most people probably poison them, but you know, if you cut a eucalypt like this off at the base, it just strikes back. But being anti-poisons, we've got to roll up our sleeves and do a little bit of manual labour. The cows have snapped a few and trashed a few, but nothing substantial. So we'll come back. I'll get the boys down here. I'll bring the little electric chainsaw and some big loppers and we'll build a pile. Hey Petsy, this is a nice landscape. I'm really enjoying seeing you guys in here. Now if you can feel, there's the heifer, full of meat, and she's walking a bit stiff in the back legs. So I reckon she's pretty close. Can you give me a touch and combe? Give me a sniff. She's my favourite little kneeling heifer, lovely. If you can feel a different vibe on the video, I don't know if it comes through aesthetically. I can smell it. Not as clear as I'd like it, but clear, my nose. We had rain last night. We had a thunderstorm, little thunderstorm, about 12 millimetres. When that heifer walks, you can see the slop, slop, slop of her back end opening up. Not sure what to do it for us. 12 mil, which is great for me. I know a lot of farmers are maybe not as excited about it because it's potentially too late. A lot of farmers have called their seed crops, come on, you know, their wheat and that sort of thing. I've been noticing that quite a few have cut their crops prematurely to secure the hay, as the seed harvest didn't look that good. Come on! And you know, maybe this would have upset the apple cart with them trying to dry hay a little bit, some of them. It's a fickle thing getting rain when you want it. But for us, I'm stoked. That brings our weekly total. Come on, Kaya, come on. That brings our weekly total to 25 mil, which is amazing. It's almost more rain than we've had in spring. Come on. And next week, we've got about 30 mil forecast. Now, will it come? I don't know. I've been watching some long range weather forecasters for quite a while. And before spring even started, they said dry spring, wet November, very dry summer. That's been the vibe. I think everyone guesses to a certain point. There's spud beneath that tree over there. All I need is one of you. Who's going to do it? Mickey, are you going to come? It's the land of plenty out there. So we're just starting our rotation around the farm for the second time this grazing season since I stockpile fed these cows over summer, autumn and winter. I guess they were in confinement for like 7 months. Come on, Mickey, you look beautiful. And that full loop took us a little bit over 2 months. So really happy with that. And now in front of us, if we keep that in mind, we did that loop in 2 months. The in front of us now is substantially more standing feed than when we started that first loop. So depending on weather, since we're getting a bit of rain, I'm probably not going to slow down too much. I'm going to keep them moving. I don't want to graze that down to the ground and hamper growth. You know, if we're still having moisture, leaving grass like this behind that's been sheared off will bounce back really quickly. So we'll get a third graze out of the season. I'm dedicated to not flogging out this farm. Last year we really clapped it. We kept we had our grazing plan and we were making, I think, good decisions, but we're also operating on a bit of hopium. There was a lot of hope happening. Not this year. As soon as we run out, I'm sending all these animals off. Come on! I am boy. When I watch these guys cruise along, I just want to play the Lion King soundtrack. Yeah, Betsy. You're beautiful. Come on. Here's our little pump shed. So there's a foot valve beneath that keg that supplies the header tank above the house, which waters the garden and all my stock lines. It's not house water. There's normally snakes and spiders and stuff in here. There's the manifold. So if I attach this and turn it on, it sucks out of the dam. Then if we shut that off and turn this on, it sucks out of our well. And if the well can't keep up or it dries out, we open this inline here, which fills the well on this float valve, and that's actually town mains, this is the only spot on our farm town mains comes to, because it's right at the gate there, and the previous owner set it up into the well. The house is solely off rainwater. It's a pretty good water set up in terms of watering a small amount of livestock like what we've got here. Come on, Mickey. You show them. You be the leader. Now this corner's going to stuff everyone up, isn't it? They're not going to want to come around this corner and follow Mickey. You go, darling. You're the boss. Good girl. Oh, you're so clever. Now, a couple of the things I wanted to talk about. Geez, we're already 8 minutes in. If you're still here, you're a trooper. A couple of things I wanted to talk about was the death triangle and the two different sides of the tummy on the cow, because I've got a few good examples in here. So what will we do? I might walk around this dam and push them. You know, we can always wait. I don't like waiting. I got stuff to do. I could always just drive away, but I do want to move another fence, and I've got to get water sorted too. So we'll see how we go here. But I've got a couple pregnant cows in the mob, and they've got really good visuals on. If you look at it from behind, you can see the rumen on one side and the calf on the other. You know, you do farm tours, you have people coming out there, like, oh, look how fat that cow is, she's probably pregnant. No, it's a steer. Just because the cow's got a big gut doesn't mean it's got a baby in there. We want them to have a big gut by default. But if you look at it from the back end, the cow's left-hand side is where the stomach is, and the right-hand side, if they have a calf, is where the calf will be. And it's not easy to look at a cow and go, there's a calf in there, but sometimes you get really weird lumpy shapes. It's not round, it's not just grass and gases bubbling up. You might see a point or a triangle or something pushing out the side of them, and that'll be a nose or a skull or a foot. Good cows. Walk up, walk up. Come on, Tamaliki. Princess, hop, hop. Solani, up again. Boy, come on. And then I wanted to explain to you the death triangle, which I don't have very good examples of that in the mob because everyone's as full as they can be. Got to keep the pressure on the back here as they go through that gate, because what happens is the first ones turn around and walk back, and then the young ones follow them back, but on the wrong side of the fence, and get trapped, and it's just a pain in the butt. Come on, Don and Combe. Hop, hop, hop. Walk up, walk up. Walk up, walk up. Walk up, walk up. Come on, Kangu. There we go, there we go. All right, better keep pressure on over here. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. No, don't you think about it. See what I mean? That little one, beautiful little calf, one of my favourites from this year, just based on colour. I feel like I'm collecting Pokemon cards. You get all these different colours. Oh, there's a holographic. Good job. Everyone, we're in business. So I need to move a fence. I don't want them to have access to my eggmobiles here, because they rub on it, they damage things, and if they can lift up the lid on one of those feeders, they'll get a gut full of grain, which will kill them. Grain doesn't kill cows, they finish cows on grain. If your cow's never had grain, or hasn't recently, and it gets access to it and it fills its gut up, its stomach's not set at the right pH to handle it, it'll get acidosis and die. So you've got people that feed grain, we don't, but people that do, there's a bit of a science to weaning them onto grain. So a few things we're going to talk about. It's going to be a long video. Sit back, pour yourself a gin. Let's go. So this rain wouldn't necessarily be welcomed by everyone. The graziers will be loving it, especially graziers probably on unimproved pastures, just letting native pasture pop up. Everyone who's got a bit more of a plan, everything will be a bit late for them. But you see this bare spot here? This is where an eggmobile sat. So this is the site of underneath an eggmobile. From many months ago, there's another one there. They're scattered all around the farm. But where was it? Over here. I saw a lot of, because of the rain we had about a week ago, a heap of perennial ryegrass starting to come through. You know, that can handle a bit of heat. That looks like cooch there too. Or kikuyu rather. So that can handle the heat. So, and that's a lot of organic matter there. It's going to hold a bit of moisture. So this rain's going to really rocket a bit of that feed off. Obviously a lot of this brome and silvergrass and ryegrass is already seeded off, so that needs to be eaten. Down here we've got a lovely pile of vetch from, this is where it was keyline ripped as well, and the seed multi-species cover crop was just thrown out with the super spreader, and it wasn't tined in or anything. There's a few places where certain species really grabbed compared to others. So here, cows will get the runs when they come through here. Look at all this vetch. That's all vetch, which is a legume, nitrogen fixer. Another big patch down there. Got a bit of horehound and marshmallow. I saw a bit of some sort of mint growing up there as well. But anyway, let's find Gugu and talk about a pregnant cow from behind, because I've been getting a lot of questions about different things, and it sounds like a lot of you that are watching are sort of starting your enterprise and kicking off. So I'm going to show you some things that just might be interesting to you. Maybe you haven't come across it before. But a cow's stomach, its rumen, sits on the left-hand side of its frame. So Gugu here, that there, she's fat, right? She's fat, she must be pregnant. Well, yes, but no. That fat there isn't baby. That's all grass and gas. That's her quad stomach filling up. This side on the right-hand side, if she was pregnant, would be where the calf is sitting. And I took a little video yesterday. I had a really good example because she is pregnant, and the calf was sitting really awkward, and it was a big sharp shape out. You could see it was its knee or something pushing out to the side. It's not as pronounced today. She's got a little bit of discharge coming out of her vulva, so, but she has no milk. But these older cows, you know, you look for a cow bagging up, you look for its udder filling up with milk as a sign of getting close to labour. But sometimes these older cows, you know, they'll look dry, and then the next day they've got a calf at foot and a big bag of milk. That heifer's just waiting to pop, isn't she? Watch pot never boils. Looks uncomfortable. Hey everyone. Hey, you're beautiful. Look at this tillage radish has done a good job. Not many, they were bigger seeds and got smashed by the birds a bit more. And then I wanted to show you the death triangle, but it's hard on these animals because no one's got one. So here, Gelato, if we're looking from the front of the hip to the back of the last rib. Can you see that ridge of shadow just along the top? There's a gap there where there's no bone. So here is the last rib, there's the hip, and then there's obviously the back. And you can draw a triangle. It's an upside down triangle with the point facing down. If they have no grass in their system, because they've been off feed or there's not enough feed, that's sunken, it's really depressed. You might have a fat cow, but if you hold them in the yards over a day and you look at that pocket there, that triangle, you'll think, geez, that cow's emaciated. No, I just didn't have breakfast. They call it the death triangle, not because your cow's going to die if it doesn't have grass in its tummy once. But if that's a ongoing reality for that animal over a period of time, it's going to starve, isn't it? So we walk around and we sort of want to see that nice and flush, gives us a good idea of room and fill. Cows have eaten enough. You can't do the same on the right. I'm still zoomed in. This is the right hand side of Talani, and it doesn't matter how much food she has in her tummy, it won't affect that aesthetic. On the left here, you can see she looks a little bit more sunken, but some of these Nguni just have really pronounced rear hips, sort of like a Jersey cow. She's just about full. You can see a little bit of a depression. Can you see it? Because we're here early. She's only been grazing probably a bit over an hour since the sun came up. So that'll fill up and she'll be full. So there's the death triangle. Hey Kangu, that's Talani's little calf. And then what we're doing behind the cattle here, while they're grazing through, a lot of this pasture is quite long now, it's up around my knee, is they're exposing the thistles. This thistle here. Hard to find when you're cruising through the paddock. It's hiding in amongst the grass. So as the cows are grazing through a cell, I'm actually coming back with a spade because these are about to flower and their flower cycle's really short. They set seed really quickly. We want this plant to grow. It's got a big taproot down here, which is breaking up compaction, sourcing nutrients deeper in the soil profile, bringing it up, doing that nutrient cycling. I'm quite happy for that plant to do that role, but I don't want to let it set seed and throw seed all over the farm. We do want to, you know, manage it out of the, oh, they're sharp, manage it out of the farm. And I don't want to be a bad neighbour throwing nasty weed seeds all over the place. There's another batch there. So with this rotation going around the farm, as they come through, they bear it off. I come with my spade and I chop it off at the base. I leave the root in the ground, and if we get a heap of summer rain, it'll grow back like Medusa's head. That doesn't bother me so much. I'll just come around again. It's literally like 20-30 minutes a week I'm doing this. It's not in every paddock and there's only little patches of it. But I don't just chop it off at the base once. I chop it off right at the base. I'll go grab my spade and I'll show you. And then I sort of give it a few chops. It's a forb, so it's got a big hollow stem. And I chop it up a few times to sort of turn it into mulch, I guess. Here's a few that I've done and a few that I've missed because I couldn't see them. These are all pretty little. See, just like that. It'll just, when things have soil contact or ground contact, they break down quicker. And if you take a big, is there any big ones in here? Have I got them all? Here's a big one. Bigger one. See the structure of it? If I just chop that over at the base, a bit hard one-handed. If I just leave that there like that, you see none of it touches the ground. A few spikes are resting on the ground. That's never going to get consumed. It's just going to oxidize and just brown off and just sit there forever. So what I found is if I just take a bit of time and really mulch up like that, see it really sits on the ground, it gets eaten up really quick. Like I said, it's not much work. I'd much rather chip things with a thistle than load up some spray rig and spray all this crap all around the farm. So that's my job for the next 10 minutes, and then we're going to go move pigs. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good morning.